Part 1, Substrate Specificity of Pancreatic Amylase. For this part, we will be using Lugol's solution, 1% potato starch, 1% dextran, and alpha amylase. We will also be using cotton. We will also have test tubes, test tube stands, test tube holders, and a whole bunch of pipettes. Label 6 clean dry test tubes as number 1 to 6. We will add the substrate solutions as listed in table 1. 4 drops of 1% potato starch in test tube 1 and test tube 2. The next substrate is 1% dextran. You're going to add 4 drops of 1% dextran in test tubes 3 and in test tubes 4. The last substrate is a small piece of cotton with 6 drops of water. This will be added to test tubes 5 and test tube 6. Pancreatic amylase will be added 4 drops to test tubes 2, 4 and test tube 6. 4 drops each. Mix the contents by gently flicking the bottom of the test tube with your fingertip. We will then proceed and place all the test tubes in a 37 degrees water bath for 15 minutes. During this time, we will do a brief or a small test. Add 1 drop of iodine to a small bit of a cracker and observe the color change. 15 minutes are done, and we will remove from the water bath the test tubes. Add 1 drop of iodine to each of the test tube. Mix the contents and record your observations in table 2. As an extra step for better viewing, I am adding a little extra water, distilled water, to test tubes 1 and test tubes 2, so as to you can differentiate the color. Label test tubes 1 to 6. Add 3 drops of amylase to each of the test tubes. Add 3 drops of buffer at various pH levels to each test tube as indicated in table 4. Buffer pH 3, pH 6 in test tube 3, buffer pH 8 in test tube 4, pH 10 in test tube 5, and pH 12 in test tube 6. Mix the contents by gently swirling, and we will let it sit for 5 minutes. Add 6 drops of 1% potato starch to each of the test tube. Mix the contents by gently flicking at the bottom of the tubes with your fingertips, and then we will place it in the water bath at 37 degrees centigrade for 15 minutes. Incubate this in the water bath for 15 minutes. Remove the tubes, and we will add 1 drop of iodine solution to each of the test tube. Mix the contents and record your observation in table 5. I have added a little more volume of distilled water for better visual appearances. Hope this may help a little better in your observations.